Hey guys, welcome back to another little mini chit chat video. Welcome back to another little mini reaction video. So, before we go ahead and get into the topic, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Shout out to all of our Purple Heart members. Thank you guys so much. For those of you who don't get a chance to make the live, thank you for all of your support in advance. You will see the video once it re uploads to YouTube. And for those of you who had time tonight to come through, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you guys. And yeah, so before we go ahead and talk about what I want to talk about tonight, let's go ahead and talk about the giveaway real quick. Thank you to everyone who has been taking part in our watch time giveaway. Shout out to you guys. We really appreciate you guys. We're almost at our watch time goal. I'm hoping that by the end of the month we would have hit that goal. If you do want to take part in that, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, watch the videos, comment at the end, Purple Heart, and yeah, you guys will be entered into the giveaway. So thank you to everyone who has been taking part. We do appreciate you guys. So yeah, so I wanted to go ahead and talk about this whole parasocial thing. Okay. Never really knew what this was. This is kind of like a new word. Came out maybe 2024, I would say. I started hearing it more and more. 2025, it completely exploded. Now in 2026, we kind of have like a good idea of what a parasocial is. Um, so lately on YouTube, um, I've been noticing that one of my favorite YouTubers, her name is Chelsea Janae. I've talked about her before on this channel, and on my other channel as well, the lifestyle channel. We talked about it over there. I always talked about her like inspiring me to step more into content creation versus the blogging, which I've done for years. I've been on social media for so long, and I've been on YouTube forever, multiple channels. For me, YouTube has always been a way to express yourself, like express myself artistically in terms of fashion, being a blogger, um, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all of that. I've done that for years. I know that stuff like the back of my hand. A lot of these YouTubers that have gone on to be very successful, the Queens and the DDG and the all of these people who literally blew up on YouTube, we've been watching them for years, and we've watched them go through different transitions and stuff like that in their lives. Some of them became parents, some of them became rappers, actors, all of it, right? We've always kind of been there watching them go through the motions. Um, what I noticed lately over the years is a lot of these YouTubers, when they try to grow, they try to, grow as an individual. I'm not talking about grow their platform. I mean, just grow, take those natural next steps. Because you're watching them from like they're teenagers, then they become young adults, then they become parents, and they just grow with you as you watch their channel. A lot of YouTubers struggle to transition, right? Because YouTube is so nichey. It's like a niche. Everybody has a niche, right? And the minute you step out of that niche where people are used to you being, it can go 50-50. Either they can be really supportive or they can rip you to shreds. I've seen them do the rip into shreds. It's really crazy. It gets really creepy really fast. So out of that came the parasocial, right? And basically, a parasocial is somebody who has no boundaries. That's it. It's a real fancy word for people who don't know boundaries. They don't understand the difference between reality and social media. And it's not even all the way their fault. from the beginning, social media, especially YouTube, right? The veil was just risen a couple years ago. For a long time, people actually believed the stuff they saw on social media was real, especially the stuff they saw on YouTube, right? They really believed these skits and storylines and all of it, and they became super invested in the creators. They got to the point where they felt like they knew them personally, because in order to grow their channels, they had to remove those boundaries. They had to engage fully. They had to do the meet and greets. They had to let people into their personal space so that they could get their views and their likes and their clicks, and so that they can build up their platforms and, to get where they needed to be. That was what, YouTube was about. People did the meet and greet. They felt they knew you. They even asked you to name their children. They ran everything by their audience. They ran every single thing, even the people they dated. They they asked your approval, right? Everything. They were super super involved in building up these people and their platforms. Okay, cool. So now they're all grown up, right? And they want to enforce some boundaries. They feel like you're encroaching too much on their privacy, and you're too evasive. You're too invasive, right? You'd go up to them in public, pop up on them, pop up at their house, go up to them when they're on their dates with their children, wanting pictures, when they're eating. All of a sudden, they started to feel like, this is like we need to establish some boundaries. That didn't go over well, right? Fan base is freaked out because they're used to the access. They're used to the cameras being in everywhere, in the delivery room, watching their children's come out and all that type of stuff, just in it, right? So the minute they started to put up some boundaries, regular, normal, healthy people understood. Grown people, people who were, living, growing right alongside these people that they were watching every day on their TV, they understood, okay, yeah, need to back off, need to give them space, need to respect the privacy and the stuff and that. There was another side of the people who were just not with it at all. You would read comments like, oh, we pay their bills, and oh, if we can this, and da 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 da. On and on and on it went with the negativity, right? It got to the point where even some people, unfollowed a lot of people because they are nosy. Human beings are nosy by nature. They stay subscribed, they pop in every now and then just to know the business, right? Not really fully engaged with the platform, but just to know, be in the know, just to be nosy. Um, Another set of people went even a step further, right? They created T pages to bash and bully and harass the same people that they used to watch, right? That was a whole segment. Who remembers Keisha Kaylee? I always talk about Keisha Kaylee anytime I talk about fan bases gone completely off the rails, right? And a lot of that, because now I've been a Keisha Kaylee fan for a very long time. Ever since I've been on YouTube, a lot of me wanting to become a content creator, not just stay on Instagram and Facebook, was because of Keisha Kaylee and DDG and these people, Diera and Ken, and all the people who inspired a lot of people to pick up their cameras, who never knew this side of YouTube, who just watched YouTube for music videos, who never knew about vlogging until they made it so cool to watch, and a lot of people got inspired. But along the way, and especially with Keisha Kaylee, because that's where we're gonna jump off here with the Parasocials gone completely off the rails. Um, what happened on her channel? Because I remembered when it all went wrong, right? Um, Her content was based on being in a, same sex relationship. She was in a relationship with a female, all of that and all of that. And then, you know, as time progressed and she evolved, her sexuality shifted again, right? As it's her prerogative, right? As it's any human being's prerogative. It shifted and she started dating a male. Well, her fan base was heavily into the same sex content. They completely lost it, right? They completely lost it. It got to the point where one of them actually created a T page and dedicated a whole bunch of time to harassing, bashing, bullying, and then more people joined the hate train because, of course, it became lucrative, right? And that's what we know about YouTube. They will jump on it if it will generate a coin. So, multiple channels, everybody was bashing, everybody was having a good old time, everybody was raking in the views because hate sells. That's just a fact. I didn't say it, it's just a fact. People love hate, they love that stuff, they gravitate to that stuff. So, a lot of people who subscribe to her channel were actually subscribing from hateful pages. So, they were not there to support her genuinely. The minute she stopped feeding into that, she lost like 50,000 subscribers because she just shut it down and she did it so beautifully. You have to know how to deal with parasocials. You got to deny the access, just shut it down. And she just shut it down. There was nothing for them to see. The content became super boring. She just started filming family content strictly. She started she started a whole farm, home rental, all of it. And it just got rid of all the completely hateful people. They just kind of fell off. And her genuine supporters, as I noticed, had just stayed where she was originally at. So that's what can happen when you stray too far from who you truly are on social media. If you don't embrace just who you are and present who you are, the content be who you are, you will have these people gravitate towards your platform with expectations, right? We talked about that before in a previous video. Expectations, they come on and they watch you. They have a lot of expectations. They expect you to date a certain type of person, live a certain type of life, go to certain places, take these trips, do these shopping sprees, live this because you're portraying a certain lifestyle. So the minute you no longer feel the need to do that, they turn on you like a pack of wild animals. They rip you to shreds. Which brings us to the next creator that has just come onto my radar, sorry, as we talk about parasocials and people who don't know boundaries and feel entitled. Feel entitled, feel like they own you because they watch a couple of your videos, they may watch some commercials, they may like, they may comment, they may buy some merch, they may whatever support in whatever way they deem as support. And so they feel entitled. Um Chelsea Janae, that's who we started talking about, right? She's going through it. I haven't watched her in a while because her content changed. I think a lot of people who originally watched Chelsea, if they watched her from a place of support, will recognize that yeah, her content changed because she went through a breakup. She went through a breakup, and as any 30-year-old, going through life, going through the motions, but going through it on camera. Oh my God, it all went downhill the moment she decided to share that she was struggling with a little bit of mental stuff, just a lot going on for her. They just started to judge and critique like they do, right? She had to downsize. Obviously, she's no longer in a relationship. You no longer have a two income household. The fact that you have to explain this stuff to like grown people is the most scariest part about the parasocials. Okay, you have to explain the most simplest things, like they broke up, She's no longer in a two income household. She's in a single income household. So, of course, she has to downsize. Of course, the lifestyle is going to change. You no longer have two incomes, you're only relying on one. Okay. She recently decided to, I guess, share that, she's met someone or she's talking to someone or whatever have you. Oh my God. All hell has broken loose. Oh, we thought you said that you wanted to be alone, and we thought that you this and you we thought that, and they're so angry in the comments. It's like scary to read because you're just like, you don't know this person. Like, you realize that you don't know her, right? Like, you don't know her. You know what I came to realize on YouTube? There are a couple channels that I used to watch a lot, right? Just, we watch YouTube like it's cable. The TV stays on YouTube. I don't just, create content. I watch content heavily, right? So my TV is always on YouTube. There are a couple channels that I watched over the years. One channel, they literally went a whole year posting old content and nobody knew. Everybody thought they were watching current up to date content, and it wasn't. It was over a year old. So they were just like releasing the content, but it had already been recorded like a year prior. And I literally felt some type of way, right? And then I realized that's what all creators do. I don't know. I've been busting my behind trying to, if you guys follow my shorts, then you guys know like my content is daily. The foodie content daily, daily, daily. And it's super hard to film like 3,000 videos a year, but I do it because I love creating my content. I love creating my foodie content, and I just love posting my content. So it isn't really like work to me, but it's still work. It takes a lot of time to do, right? But I do it because I love it. Um, and what was I saying? I got lost in my thought. I literally got lost in my thoughts. I literally got lost in my thoughts. I got distracted and my mind really literally went blank. That has been happening a lot lately. Oh my goodness. I literally can't remember where I was going with that. You guys will have to excuse me. Oh my goodness. But yeah, keeping it on Chelsea because I'm pretty sure I was talking about something that was it just ran off. Yeah, keeping it on Chelsea. I'm just coming back to watching her lately. And kind of getting all caught up. Um she's being just no grace is given. And I guess it all started over this whole like vision board party and tickets and refunds. I'm not here to get into that stuff. I wasn't really around watching the content when all of that was going down. You see, I can be honest. I'm a grown up, right? I'm grown as heck. In 2 years, I'll be 50. I have no time to butter anything up. Okay. I can be real and I can be supportive while being real. I don't have to bash somebody to get my point across. Okay. I stopped watching Chelsea's content as much, not completely, but as much, not because she broke up with Dion or whatever the case may be or transition or whatever in her relationship. It had nothing to do with her relationship per se. It more so had to do with the fact that the things that she's now going through in life as a 30-year-old, as somebody who's 48, I don't want to relive all of that. Like, I didn't come, and she talked about that on her channel. If you're not here for the content, you're just not here for what's being put out at the moment. It doesn't mean that you can't come back later when it goes back to being what you want to watch. That is your prerogative as a viewer. Nobody's forcing you to watch the content, right? I think a lot of people forget that. They bash you while watching you. It don't make no sense. Like, it's crazy. Anyway, right? You can take a break and come back. People will go through life things. This is life. This is not no play. Maybe YouTube used to be fake, and maybe the pranks and stuff, maybe that stuff still is, but the lifestyle vlogging is lifestyle vlogging. It's what people are going through in the moment. If whatever they're going through is not your cup of tea, you don't have to watch it. You can go away and come back and catch up later, right? Which is what I chose to do, because I was just like, oh man, I came out of my 30s. I'm now looking towards my 50s. I don't want to watch all of this stuff because I already know where it's going. And you may not know it exactly because it's not your life, but you know the playbook. You're pushing 50, you already know what this is. In your 30s, you're going to go through a whole bunch of crap. Like life, that's when life gets real for real. Nobody will tell you none of this stuff. So you're going to watch these people on YouTube go through it, right? A lot of people come on YouTube with false expectations because they grew up watching all that fake crap. And they think everybody is going to be a certain type of way. Look at all the creators that you used to watch back in the day. There's only one couple, literally, and I don't even want to say their name because I don't want to jinx them. I just love them so much. Out of that whole slew of couple channels that's actually going strong as a family, as a unit, married with their children, right? The rest of them have gone by the wayside, right? All the, Nick and King and Corey and Carmen and Dear and Ken and all these other couples that people base the whole YouTube foundation on, DDG and Kennedy, all these couples are no longer, right? So it was never meant to come across as real reality. It was never realistic. We just didn't know that at the time, but we're all grown now. So we all know that now. Maybe it's the younger people watching her, but no, some of these women are grown as heck. Like, I'm not even gonna say that because these young people don't be watching this stuff. They're over there watching the other stuff. It's grown people, right? Grown women who don't have a realistic view on things. People talking about, oh, she don't travel no more, she's broke. Oh, she don't have money to this and she don't have money to that. No, she does not, because it's a single household now. There is no supplementary income. So she can't afford to traipse off to Paris and traipse off to London and traipse off to New York. It shouldn't be a reason to bash her. Go watch somebody else. Somebody said Kyra would never. Then go watch Kyra, right? And let the girl go through what she's going through. She clearly came out on her platform and said she's going through something. And it took a lot for her to say that. You can see that Chelsea's very proud. A lot of people don't understand other human beings. That's why they don't know how to read personalities. They're very self centered and don't really know, understand personal or interpersonal skills. Anybody with a brain can look at Chelsea and see that she's had to be tough because people are always mean, just like they're being mean now, just like their true colors are showing out on these hate pages and all these T pages and all these people in the comments, all of it, it's all coming out, right? How they really feel. People talking about her fashion, her makeup, her hair, her looks, this, that, the third, just bashing, right? But then a couple months ago, they were all up in the comments being fake, right? Being fake. Oh, girl, we love it. We love it. Oh my God, you look this. Oh my God, we love it. We love the weight loss. We love it. We love it. We just love it, and we love it so freaking much. But the minute that vision board party got canceled and the access was cut off, and all this other stuff started, they turned like a pack of wild wolves. Just the most hateful things you would ever, if you were a creator and you read your comment section, or you read these T pages and people who claim to be your supporters are saying these hateful things about you, be shocked. You wouldn't be on YouTube. You come off for a while. That's why a lot of people just disappear, right? There's a lot of hate on the internet. Me personally, I'm not really invested, right? I have multiple pages that I run my businesses from that I would never advertise on social media. Um, they have their own advertisement machines that do the work for them. I would never promote anything personal on social media. People are just way too much, um just way too much hate. Way too much hate. Way too much hate. It's crazy. You read some of the comments, like, if you think it's crazy, let's go back to Keisha Kaylee for a bit, right? Her parasocials got to the point where it became reality. People started calling family members jobs. People started doxing people. People started showing up at her children's school. One woman even went to her house. And what was the intent? Like trying to take her children, posing as a fake CPS worker. You understand how crazy that has to be when you decide to leave your reality and enter somebody else's that you don't know. You just watch them on the internet. How crazy is that? Like, you wouldn't think that's a thing. That is so much a thing. There was one lady who showed up at a viewing where she was showing a house when she became a realtor because they ran her off of YouTube. It became too scary for her family. So she came off YouTube, went and got a realtor license, became a realtor, had a viewing, and had one of the parasocials show up at the viewing posing as a client that was viewing the house. And then when she figured out what was going on, she started secretly recording the person. It had to get to the point where there was so much legal action taken for the page and all of that to be removed. That was one of the first times I've ever seen like a YouTuber have to literally get the law involved to protect their family. People are literally crazy. When I say they were showing up at the jobs, they were showing up at the jobs, they were calling the jobs, they were calling the clients, they were calling, and she had proof of everything. Right, that was the crazy part. It got to the point where they didn't even care anymore if there could be legal ramifications. They were just that obsessed. They became obsessed with her children. I sat back and watched that crap for years, and I was just thinking to myself, what is wrong with these people? Like, you don't know this lady at all. And they were just over the top with it. And it looks like this is where the Chelsea situation is now going. Her fan base, or I should say, I wouldn't say her fan base. I think the people that really support Chelsea will always support her. I think the grown-ups that watch her, they understand that she's going through something right now that is normal for any 30-year-old. I don't think we as 40 something year olds or 50 something year olds could even sit down with a straight face and say, yeah, my 30s was a breeze. Like, it was just a cakewalk. Absolutely not. Your 30s is your most trying time in your life. Your 40s is the cakewalk compared to your 30s. Your 30s is what makes or breaks you. If you don't make it through your 30s, you're not going to be making it through your 40s. Right? So the grown-ups that are watching Chelsea understand that she just turned 30. They also understand that she expressed to us many years ago that she's been in this relationship since she was, I think, damn near teenager. A really, really long time, right? For those of us who understand long relationships, I've been married for 10 years. That's a long portion of my life. That's my whole 40s. Um, Anybody who's given a long amount of time to someone else, they understand where she's coming from. It don't have to look agreeable to you. It's not your life, right? But empathy is universal. And if you're a grown up, you understand, right? When you've been with someone for a really long time, you tend to lose yourself. You don't know who you are. When you're no longer with that person, you have to find yourself all over again, because 10 years, 10 plus years is a long time to be in a relationship with someone, right? When you're thinking as two, not as one. So now you have to go back to thinking as one on all levels of your life, not just physical, the mental, the spiritual, all of it. You get so used to saying they, you get so used to saying we, you get so used to saying us. No, you have to go back to saying me, right? It's not easy, and it looks different for everyone. There is no book that shows you the right way to get over somebody. It is not your place to judge and bash people because they're going through real life. It is not their fault that you're over invested. It is not their fault that you have rose petals on your glasses and you don't know how to differentiate reality from social media and what's real and not real. It's not their fault that you're overly attached or that you lack empathy, that you don't see them as real people, and that you don't understand that people go through stuff. That's life. If nobody ever told you, I'm going to tell you. People go through stuff, people go through things. Every day is not going to be perfect. And a lot of the times, the videos that you are watching that are perfect, they're pre recorded, right? And they're pre recorded for a reason. They're pre recorded because those people are not strong enough to withstand the evilness that comes with the internet. They know their mental can't take it. So they pre record the content and spoon feed it to you over the time. You don't know the time period. You don't know anybody's time period. It doesn't matter if the video says today, it could have been recorded 5 months ago. You don't know. The videos look perfect. Everything looks perfect. Everything is awesome. Everything is great. A lot of the time, it's pre recorded content so that they can go through real life in private, or it's fake content so that you can consume it and move along to the next because they understand the feeding frenzy. They understand that people have no boundaries and you have to constantly feed them the BS or they're going to turn on you like a pack of wolves. So they're more strategic in the way they look at it. They manage their fan base differently, to each their own. I don't really care about that stuff. I don't get into all of that. I like to keep my legs planted in reality. And that's why I'm able to empathize with Chelsea and I'm able to see it for what it is. And a little bit of, a little bit of it is her fault because she cultivated this audience that has grown used to certain things and they don't know how to see her as a person. So, like Keisha, she always has to be explaining to them and trying to appease them and explaining instead of just turning on her camera and just walk around in your bonnet and your robe. Frick, if that's what you want to do. Be depressed, be whatever, let it run through you. These are your emotions. If your channel is your diary, you have to be real, right? You don't have to wait for the days when your hair is done perfectly, or you have to be going on a trip to Paris, or you're going on a date night, things they want to see, all that nosy stuff. It doesn't have to be that because it's your channel. And once you understand that and take back that power, then you'll learn like every other YouTuber who has come before you has learned. Like, I'm gonna record my life. I'm gonna post my life. Watch it, don't watch it. It don't matter. You may lose subscribers, but you will gain much more. That's how it works, right? Just be your real authentic self at all times. Even on your bad, crappy days, there's somebody out there who will relate. Remember your core audience always, right? The people who knew you from you were in Florida, sitting on the floor in front of your mirror, talking about your dreams of moving to Atlanta. Those are the people who are going to support you no matter what. Bonnet, makeup, no makeup, gym, no gym, all of that. The rest of the people will fall away because they never were your supporters. They came over from other channels and hate pages and all this stuff, and they've been waiting and salivating for you to fail so that they can run over to the T pages and talk their shit and say this and say that, and let loose in the comments and be fake because they're fake. They're not real supporters. So as content creators, that's something that you must always remember. You don't know these people. They don't know you. They don't really care. The moment you stop giving them what they want, they will turn on you. That's why you should always cultivate real people, real audiences, right? People who understand you and know you for who you are, and they take the good with the bad, right? They understand that you're going through some stuff. The channels on YouTube that survive the longest are the channels that are the realest. I'm not going to name them. I'm not going to name names, but we know who they are, right? They've been on YouTube for years. If I say the names, you definitely know them. And they've survived this rat race because they are themselves. They're just authentic. They are who they are. They don't try to impress. They don't try to cultivate. They don't try to do anything. They are just themselves and they provide the content, which is themselves, their life, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And the people who support them no matter what. And that's the realest advice I could give to anyone who is doing social media. I've been on social media for many years. I don't need a million, 3 million, 5 million, 10 million, 50, 60, 70 million followers. I just need real supporters. And that's what I have. Core audience who understands me, understands my content, and they're not asking me to be who I'm not. They wouldn't enjoy it anyway. And I sure as heck, I'm not going to do any of that stuff. Right? So the best thing to do is to just be yourself. And the people who support will support. Those who don't, they won't. And it don't matter. There's millions and trillions and millions of people on YouTube. Right? So if you feel like you're going through a life change, change. Life doesn't stop when the camera turns off. Nobody cares, right? Go through your stuff, cry if you want to cry, have your bad day if you want to have your bad days, record it if you feel like. The people who resonate will, the people who won't will click off. That's just that. Don't over explain, don't do all of that stuff because they don't care. That is the reality. I literally watched the last video, all the explaining in the world, right? As soon as the video clicked off, they ran off to the hate pages, all in the comments. Did you see her jeans? Did you see what she was wearing? Oh my God, she's such a hot mess. Da 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 da. And tomorrow they'll be right back under the video watching. That's another thing you have to learn on this YouTube, right? Some of the most successful channels on this platform have the most haters. I know, right? That sounds crazy. Some of the most successful people on this platform have the most haters. And you just don't understand. That is the weirdness of it all. They hate you, but they love to watch you. Whether they're watching to see you fall on your face or they're watching so that they can have something to say, they're watching regardless. So I wouldn't really get caught up. Like somebody said in the comments, don't focus on the negative comments. It don't really matter. There's a YouTuber that I love. I may not agree with all her choices. I may not, whatever the case may be, but I love um her fortitude, and that's Peach McIntyre. A lot of people say, "Oh my God, you love Peach." I like Peach because she is who she is, unapologetically. Whether you watch it or you don't watch it, she's just who she is. She's not going to pretend to be anybody other than Peach McIntyre, and I love that about her. Right? Whether you agree or you disagree, you like or you don't like, whatever the case may be, I don't care. I don't know her. But I do like her personality. I like people like that. I like the underdog. That's just who I've always been because I'm an underdog. I like people that people count out. Those are the strongest people. It takes a lot to be yourself in a sea full of hate. It's not easy. It's definitely not for the weak. It take a lot to get up on camera and be yourself and have people ridicule you in the comments and tell you this and say that and talk about your kids and talk about you and your family and blah 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 on and on and on. I roll. Right? On and on they go. Bashing the keyboard, they're so angry. It takes a lot of courage. So I respect people who can get on the platforms and be themselves. I don't watch the content because I don't agree with it, but I still respect it, right? Because I'm grown. So I can do that. I've learned how to differentiate and decompartmentalize my feelings. A lot of people that come on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, they're looking for an escape from their lives. So they don't want to see you go through what they're going through. This is just the real, right? They want to see the happiness and the joy and the trips and the hauls and the this and the that and the dating and the ooh happy ever after. Like that is not real. Now you could say you want to see that content, because that's what it is, content. But that's not real life, right? Nobody's riding off into the sunset with the guy they met at the gym 2 weeks ago. Like, that's not happening. Man, people have to learn how to remember the days of cable. This is just the same thing, right? It's not real. It's a script. It's all scripted, right? And all the perfection, all of that is literally scripted down to the T so that it looks natural and it looks real. There's a lot that goes into this whole carefree roll out of bed, beautiful business. It's not for the weak of heart. You have to be really dedicated to get up every day looking like you're not wearing makeup when you're wearing like 30 hours worth, right? So I commend it. I get it. I respect it. But it's not for everybody, right? And so we shouldn't really get cookie cutter with content creators. That's when the parasocial stuff starts, right? Oh, you're not like so and so, or you're not like so and so because I'm not so and so. If you want to watch so and so, go over there and watch so and so. Don't try to force a round peg into a square hole. That's where the parasocial label comes in. Because a lot of these people come on here with their expectations and forcing it onto other people. Just because you would run off with the guy to Dubai, don't mean I have to run off with the guy to Dubai. Just because you would sleep with the guy on the first date, don't mean I have to do it to be cool. Just because you would, buy that house, don't mean I have to buy that house so that I can remain relevant to you. Like, are you serious? Right? So I blame both sides. Like, people have to stop creating unrealistic expectations in their audience. Like, be real. Don't let them believe that you're doing this, that, and the third when you're not doing this, that, and the third. And I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but some people do that because they have to feed the piranhas in their audience. Otherwise, the whole lifestyle goes away. And some people do it because they're people pleasers, right? They're so used to, like, oh, give the audience what they want, give them, they made me, and blah, 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 blah. What I've understood is like what I said. People go, people come. I don't I don't get into that whole subscribe and this and that. You say it because it's, part of obviously what you want to say and what you want to, people to do. But you should never ever 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 make people feel like, you know, this is your all and be all, or you need them to do this, that, and the third. That's where the parasocial stuff comes in, right? Because now they feel like they should be the ones controlling your life, and they don't agree with the choices that you're making and all this other stuff. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about the whole situation down below. Do you agree that content creators create the parasocials? Do you agree that parasocials are people who just don't know boundaries? They don't understand the difference between reality and non-reality. Let me know in the comments down below. Have you had an encounter with a parasocial? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. For those of you who came through, we definitely appreciate your time. So thank you very much for watching, listening. Shout out to all of our Purple Heart members. Thank you guys so much. We really do appreciate all of the love. And we'll catch up with you guys in another video. Stay up and stay blessed. Deuces.